Why you need an SPR style rifle. Let's talk about that. Welcome to the Patriot Training YouTube channel. My name is Clay Howell. I'm the owner and head firearms instructor at Patriot Training. The purpose of this video is to discuss the SPR rifle, why you need one, and really how you could use that, what it benefits you to have one. The SPR rifle started out as meaning Special Purpose Receiver. It was developed for the military to be a precision style AR to deliver accurate fire at varying distances. The idea took off. Among the first SPRs include the Mark 12 Mod 0 and Mark 12 Mod 1. And in case you ever have trouble keeping them straight, the Mark 12 has an 18-inch barrel, whereas the Mark 18 has a 12-inch barrel. Military intelligence for you, I guess. The SPR, Special Purpose Receiver, later renamed to Special Purpose Rifle, is an AR-15 style rifle. It is typically chambered in 5.56 millimeter or 223 Wild or some similar chambering, and it is a precision rifle, typically with a heavy barrel, maybe a fluted barrel. It's a thing of beauty, and it's something that I believe that every American needs to have one in their gun safe. Now, my favorite is my Mark 12 Mod 0. I love the circular handguard. I like the look. It's my understanding that this began its life with the Army Special Forces. And you know what? This rifle just shoots lights out for me. It's exceptionally accurate. It's the most accurate rifle I own. It is more accurate than bolt actions I have in the same caliber. I have delivered torso-sized hits out to 800 yards with this in class and beyond, outside of class and practice. My wife has an SPR as well. She calls hers a special pink rifle because hers happens to be pink, and she has delivered shots to man-sized targets out to 800 yards as well with hers. So the accuracy is unequaled in the AR platform. You generally, with the right ammunition, can get 1 minute of angle or better with these rifles. They tend to be very, very reliable. Some of them have a mid-length gas system. Some have a rifle-length gas system. I haven't seen a noticeable difference in either one. There's a slightly less recoil impulse with the rifle-length gas system. It's not a whole lot. The 223 doesn't have a spectacular amount of recoil to begin with. However, when you pair it with the right kind of muzzle brake and the right kind of stock or buffer tube, including an A2 style stock or maybe a heavy buffer in a carbine length stock, you can very easily perform double taps at 400, 500, 600 yards. And that is a situation where you get 2 shots off and 2 shots in the air before you hear the ping on the steel of the first shot. So you can make hits. I can do this. I've done this in class multiple times, both in classes I've taken as well as classes I've taught. I've been able to coach a great many number of students to be able to get the double tap off at 400, 500, 600 yards. So it's something that's quite easy to accomplish once you understand the dynamics of it. And the SPR really, really helps you to make that kind of shot and get that kind of accuracy in at that distance. The SPR tends to have a longer rail, and this longer rail helps you to brace the rifle on objects so that you can get maximum stability and be able to hit targets at whatever distance your rifle is effective to. The SPR tends to be a heavy rifle, and heavy rifles tend to have less recoil, less felt recoil. So follow-up shots become very easy, both up close and far away. A good SPR should be equipped with a bipod of your choice, and many choose a Harris-style bipod. I'm a fan of them. I also have a Magpul bipod on my primary SPR, which is my Mark 12 Mod 0. And you know what? There's advantages and disadvantages to both, and you should investigate, learn, and you should take classes that require the use of the bipod. Speaking of classes, what kind of classes should you take with your SPR? Well, I would recommend against a CQB class with an SPR. It's not the tool for the job. You're trying to drive a screw with a hammer. Could it do that? Yes. It would not be the most ideal tool. However, you know what? I've used an SPR in an Appleseed. Marksmanship-based classes, most definitely. And scoped rifle classes especially is where your SPR is absolutely positively going to shine. Now your problem is not every place that offers a rifle class offers scoped carbine or marksmanship classes, and that's unfortunate, but that's also okay. Many more gun schools teach pistol than rifle, and here at Patriot Training we are rifle specialists, so that means more students for us, and that means I have a better chance of getting to meet you, my friend. So a couple of classes here at Patriot Training that you would definitely want to bring your scoped rifle to, your SPR. If you brought your SPR to expert riflemen, you would just absolutely have a ball. I would recommend 55 grain ammunition. We're going to learn how to work your holdovers. We're going to learn how to rest that rifle on different things. We are not going to use the bipod in expert riflemen. However, we're going to use just about everything else on God's green earth to help steady that rifle so that you can make hits out to 300 yards and beyond. Here also we have Citizen Sniper at Patriot Training, and this is designed around the SPR, around an accurized AR platform rifle. Make no mistake, you can take Citizen Sniper with an accurized bolt-action rifle. However, every student I've ever seen, both at Patriot Training Citizen Sniper as well as comparable classes from other training companies, when it was a precision rifle class and they brought a bolt-action, and they saw the efficacy of the precision AR, the SPR style rifle in class, every single one of these men and women became very jealous of the fact that they did not have an SPR, that they only had a bolt action. And I've stayed in contact with a great many of them, and a great many of them have purchased and or built SPR style rifles and retaken classes so that they could try it again now with a semi-auto. And you know, anymore, if you're going into a bolt for extreme precision, you're talking about needing to shave off a quarter of an MOA to half an MOA at best. And, you know, then you're talking about ranges that go beyond what an AR is designed to do anyhow. So the fact of the matter is that for the vast majority of your scoped rifle classes, your SPR will be an absolutely great rifle. The drawbacks to your SPR, they're not cheap. They are more expensive rifles. You can build a budget SPR, and I would say that you need to, if you're trying to figure out how much it's going to cost, think of at least $1,000 for a rifle and at least another $1,000 for the glass just to start. If you're not spending that much, you're just doing yourself a disservice. And, you know, think of going even higher than that. My Mark 12 Mod 0, it cost $1,800 just for the upper, not including the lower, not including the Geissele trigger, not including getting it Cerakoted, not including the glass. I got a Trijicon Credo scope for it, so I spent a little over $1,000 for the scope. Then I got an ADM mount. I did get the Clone Correct arms mounts, but they wobbled, and instead of trying to machine something on a terrible design, I just decided to get the right design kind of a mount for a scope that'll hold the 0 and go from there using that, you know. And I know my viewers that are clone purists, they're going to be screaming, hollering, and having strokes in the comment section. Go ahead, my friends. It's okay. It looks close enough for me. And I don't want it to look exactly like it. I want it to look close enough for me and still perform, because at the end of the day, I care about how it performs. Optic. The old rule of thumb was at least 1 power for every 100 yards you plan to shoot. And these days, it is starting to lean towards up to 2 power for every 100 yards you want to shoot. So a 16x optic on a gun that can shoot out to 800 yards makes sense. I feel like the 2.5 to 10 power Trijicon Credo I have on my SPR is a bare minimum. And that's been shown in classes where, other shooters can get dangerously close to my shooting skill when they have better scopes, So that can help make up a little bit of ground for you there. And you know what? I'm not going to lie. When I'm shooting out at 600, 800 yards, that 10 power is not as nice as a larger 16 power. So that might be something that you look into investigating. There will always be the mil versus MOA debate. I choose MOA when it's a regular scope, but I choose mil dots for an SPR. So it's like all your cheats, all your math, and everything is based around mil. So I would highly recommend mil for your SPR. Make sure your SPR has a high quality bolt and a high quality trigger in it. Everybody worries about the barrel and the free float rail, as well you should. And, just make sure you've got a good quality bolt and a good quality trigger in that gun as well. SPRs tend to be exceptionally reliable, but you don't want to skimp out on those parts, and, that leads to issues down the road. Well, folks, that about does it for this video. Did I miss something? Do you wish I had covered something else? Let me know down in the comments. Do you have a story or an anecdote that kind of backs up some of the things we say here? Let us know. Write me a comment. Do you have a story or anecdote that kind of doesn't back up what we say? Would love to hear about that as well in the comments. As always, I must remind you, click like, click subscribe, and hit that notification bell so that you can determine when the new Patriot Training videos are released. And as always, I will remind you, you don't have to be a patriot to train, but you do have to train if you want to be a patriot. Take care.